Hey guys, Ray from Love You RV. So in this video I have a long-term update on my Wastemaster sewer system. So I reviewed this 7 years ago now, and I've been using it constantly ever since. I'm a full-time RVer, and we actually boondock now up to around 7-8 months a year. So this hose gets a ton of use, and everything is still working perfectly on it. So that's a good thing, because this is not a cheap hose. It's one of the more expensive hoses on the market, but obviously one of the more durable hoses on the market as well. Early on, I didn't know where to actually carry the hose because this end piece here doesn't come off. I had kind of arranged a bumper system, but actually the inventor of the hose, and a guy from Drain Master in California, a small U.S. business that actually sells these hoses and this equipment, contacted me, and he said it was actually meant to be, in his mind, fully hooked up. So he sorted me out with I went down, actually saw him at his company, and he sorted me out with a sewer box, and I mounted that under the RV so that the thing stays connected all the time, which has worked out really well for us since we dry camp all the time. We're using a lot of dump stations, so it's easy to just pull it out, put it in the hole, and do the dumping and put it back. Also, the same person called Drain Master has electric valves. So over the years, I've installed electric valves for all my push-pull valves that were in there before. So now I have 3 of them. It makes it really easy to dump as well. I don't have to be worrying about those rods sticking and breaking. I can just use the electric valves there. I'll leave a link to his place. It's called Drain Master. If you need more info, like the hose is actually sold on Amazon, the Wastemaster, and by Lippard. But this company here sells it, and they also sell all the equipment if you were looking to do the mod where you permanently mount it. He's not paying me anything for this video or anything like that, so it's not a sponsored post. I just really do like the equipment, and it's nice to support a U.S. little business as well. So let's get to it. I'm going to take you out and look at what kind of shape it's in after 7 years, and I'm going to show you how I store everything, and also how I've hooked it up to my new sewer tote and macerator pump that I got last year. You can see the hose in use there, dumping off of the back of the truck with the sewer tote. So let's get to it. We'll give you a look at the system deployed at this campsite here. Let's see what I do when I get to camp. I can open this storage box, and I get up to about 18 feet fully extended, but then it collapses down to a small enough hose that I can shove it into this storage box that's mounted underneath the trailer. I've never had any problems with this being too low at all. I guess it's close enough to the back tires that it's not a problem. You can see my existing OEM stuff came out here, and then I cut it off there and put on the coupler for the Wastemaster. There's also a vent there. It's actually to let air out. I actually put on like a garden hose thing so I can open it up, because sometimes when you're collapsing the hose, especially if you have the valve at the end closed, it's going to try to compress the air. But if I open it here, then it easily can compress the hose, and I can close it again. Anyway, as you can see, I'm using the kind of accordion holders there. I do have what they call the flow down system, but I find when I'm traveling a lot, it's just too much of a pain to disassemble and set up at campsites. If I'm long term, I'll often use the flow down because I can get a very nice, even flow all the way from the output to the hole. So this thing is getting on 7 years old and still in pretty good condition. Some of the plastic has faded a bit, but this valve still works. Opens and closes like that. No leaks or anything like that. And I haven't had any leaks with the hose whatsoever. Going on 7 years, and I use it a ton in and out, because when we're traveling for 6 or 7, 8 months of the year, a lot of times I'm using dump stations, so it gets a lot of putting into that box and back out of that box. I did get the extra extension, so this is what the hose looks like, all collapsed, and this one will open up to 18 or 20 feet, so between the two of them I can get about 38 feet long. And I have had to use it on occasion, not too much, but you know, when you need the hose, you need the hose. I've carried this one in my back bumper, that's why there's a little bit of a rust there from the inside of the bumper, but it hasn't damaged it at all. It's still in very good shape. And then I have a few odds and ends. This is the coupler to put on the extension hose. And then I had to get a few different couplers for using my Macerator pump and my waste tote. So when I want to use my Macerator pump, I disconnect this hose right there, and then I plug this into the output, and then it kind of hangs out, and then it's got the bayonet fitting to mesh with my Macerator pump. And then when I have the sewer tote, I take it to the dump station, and I can utilize this. I can connect this to the sewer tote, and then I can take this hose with me to the dump station, connect it, and then it'll be enough to come off the back of the truck and into the sewer outlet at the dump station. And over the years, I've also added the Drainmaster electric valve system, so got rid of the pull rods and got push buttons. So we got black and gray. That's my gray, that's the shower and bathroom water, and then I have another one for the galley. This has 2 gray tanks. So when they're in green, that means they're closed, and then you just press the button and it opens up the valve, and the waste starts coming out, and it shows red. This one has actually an extra switch on it to turn them on. Now you can see here, this is missing the green light. Every once in a while I find that some debris can get jammed in the valve and get kind of squished in between there's a little edge, and it causes it not to fully close. So it still actually blocks it. It kind of weeps a little bit, which isn't too much of a problem because at the end I have that other valve. But I have to kind of get under there and pull the valve every once in a while and clean it. I recently had to do it with this one. I still have the black one to do. There you can see red is open. You can hear the black coming out now. But it makes it very easy at the dump stations because this just deploys, put it in the hole, open that valve, and right from here I can control the dumps. Close those two, and we'll open up the gray, and I'll show you it coming out the other end. There we go, that's our shower water, so it won't be as disgusting to look at. Oh no, it's still pushing some black. Anyway, the head here has a window so you can monitor the flow. Give you an idea where I store all this water and sewer stuff. Of course, that goes back in that box. That goes into the bumper. Then I have fresh water and black water stuff. So I have a freshwater hose and my freshwater pump and my freshwater bag. So that'll all go and sit in this box. Then I have another box for a washing hose. There's a regulator in there, you know, spigot stuff, all that kind of stuff there. That's anything to do with fresh water, so they stay in those bins. Then I have my black water, mostly for my macerator. That's my macerator pump there. Got an extra extension of bayonet fitting hose. Then I have the attachments for when I'm hooking up the macerator and using the sewer tote. Then on the back of the RV is where the sewer tote gets transported. 36-gallon. And I have that strapped to my ladder. I've put a couple straps and marked them top and bottom so they're just the right length and I know what to do with them. And then I have kind of a rubber strap on the top there just in case those straps both came off. There's something else holding that down on the ladder. That's worked out well. I've had a lot of miles on it and no problem at all. And there they are back loaded. So I have my fresh water on this side, easy to get at. And then there's the black water stuff. I was able to find these clear plastic bins at Home Depot. I guess they're called Sterilite 32 quart, 30 liter latching box. So it makes it easy to get at them. And it fits perfectly. So it has some restriction of a plumbing pipe there. Then I have extra room on top. So when we leave camp, I can put my power cord there and my freshwater hose for easy access. And when I put that extension hose back in the bumper, what I do is just take some wide Gorilla tape and tape that plastic cover on, because you'll see the highways are littered with sewer hoses in the ditch. So the covers always tend to wiggle loose and then the sewer hose falls out. Some people will put a screw through here and screw into the cover or have different clamping mechanisms. I find that the Gorilla tape works well enough for me because I only need this, half dozen times at the most per year, usually less, so I can just peel the tape back. A lot of times just peel the tape off a bit and then put it back and then refresh it, usually once a year. And also on the back is my water filter system. It lives on the back of the trailer with quick connects. And you can see, even though I'm in an RV park, I'm actually using it. And you wonder, well, why don't you just hook up to your city water connection? Well, this Keystone Cougar trailer is now pushing like 12 years old, so I don't thoroughly trust all the plumbing connections anymore. So if you have city water always on, the pressure is always on in there. And if it develops a leak, you'd only know by the drips. So if we're using the water pump for our water, which we're quite used to because we camp off grid like 8 months a year, I'll hear the pump running. And also the max that can come out is whatever water is in the tank. It can't just keep flowing all day if I forget to turn the spigot off at the campsite. So kind of do it more of a preventative maintenance against a flooding event. Anyway, if you have any questions or anything, just leave in the comments below. Till next time, Ray from loveyourrv.com. Thanks for watching, everyone. Cheers, folks.